Hey everyone, Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Just a little instructional video for those of you who are forming Belizean Chapter 250 corporations to hold title to your properties. Again, I've talked about this before that the way you take title in Belize oftentimes depends on who you're buying the property from and how they have that property titled. For example, for those of you who are buying properties, for example, in the let's say the Grand Belizean Estate subdivision or the Palmyra Woods subdivision. Oftentimes, those titles will already be held in an Anguillan corporation. If they are, then I suggest you just take title assuming the Anguillan corporation. However, for those of you who are taking title to properties, let's say South Ambergris Key, or maybe up in the Spanish Reef area or in the Secret Beach area, many of those properties that you're buying are owned by local Belizeans. So they might have those titles in their personal names, or they might have those titles held by a local Belizean Chapter 250 corporation. So whenever I'm buying a property from a local or that's held by a local company, what I typically do is I put that property in my own personal Belizean Chapter 250 corporation. It's a very, very simple company. Sometimes, depending on what the property is, I'll form an additional company just to hold that single property. I know it's what many of you are doing right now who are buying these properties in and around Secret Beach. So when you're doing this, you're going to get this form from the Belize Key Investments office. It's a very simple 2-page form. I just thought I'd walk you through it really briefly here to give you a little bit of heads up of what you're going to be getting as an email from Alberto, Adrian, Virginia, or someone on his team. So it says we, of course, you put your names there. You are requesting that company be incorporated for you, Belizean Chapter 250 Corporation. And then what you do is you put 3 different names that you would like your company to be called, 3 different choices. Now, for Steph and I, we always pick names that mean something to us. So, for example, it could be a play on our names. It could be something we like to enjoy in life. It could be, I don't know, business related. But we always try to make the name something where if I see the name, brings a smile to my face, right? So you guys might do something similar. And here's the thing: don't pick names like Belize Sunset or Islands in Belize, something like that, because all those names have been taken for many, many years. So make the names you come up with just really unique. You know, they could be nicknames that you and your partner call each other, or it could be I don't know, just something unique. All right. So then the purpose of the company is to hold real estate in Belize. Approximate value of the investment. You could put the purchase price there, what you're paying for the property. Explain the source of funds. So you can say these funds are coming from my personal check account, my personal savings account, or an IRA if you're forming an IRA or if you have an IRA. The beneficial owners, here's where you put all the people that will hold a portion of the company. So, for example, if you're just a single person buying the property, you're going to be the sole holder of the Chapter 250. Just put your name. If it's you and your spouse, put both your names. And then as far as this information here, share account, director, shareholder, what I would recommend for this is just set up a simple Zoom call with Alberto and his team. They'll be able to walk you through the best way to handle that. The due diligence, this is the same due diligence that is required that you provided Alberto with the purchase of your property anyway. So for example, the due diligence declaration form, copies of your passports, all sorts of good stuff like that. Contact person, custody of original company and documents and corporate seal. So for example, you can have all that sent to you after you form that, after the closing's taken place, or you can have that kept at Alberto's office. I normally do that, and it's kind of like safe and secure in his office. Sometimes I'll have it sent to me, depending on what I'm going to do with the property. And then finally, each year that you own the property, you have to pay a small renewal fee. And this is to keep the company current. And it really, to me, guys, this is the best way to hold a property in this particular case. Why? Because it affords you several advantages. Number one, it reduces your stamp tax. Instead of paying 8%, you're now only going to pay 5% stamp tax or less at closing. Number two is it makes it much, much easier to get a local Belizean bank account, get a work permit, apply for permanent residency, all that kind of stuff. And it comes with a host of other benefits as well as, finally, asset protection. All right. So you keep your assets at an arm's length from your personal name. And that way, for example, in the United States, if you ever do get sued or they come after your assets for some reason in the States, this asset is held in a separate company. It's sort of untouchable, off limits, right? So your accountant or lawyer in the States can give you more details on that. But here's what I recommend that you do. So any of you who are buying properties in and around Secret Beach, and if those properties are currently held by locals, then I suggest forming a simple 250 corporation and going from there. If you have any comments, questions, or want to know more, hit me up or send Alberto an email. We'll be happy to get back with you as soon as possible and to help your closings go through smooth and get you in your new property as soon as possible. All right, take care. Have a great week, guys. We'll talk to you soon.